Story 2. My husband confessed after 6 years together that he had been in love with my sister for a long time. My sister and I had a shitty childhood, a passive mother and an abusive stepfather. My sister was my protector and role model because adults didn't fulfill that role. When my stepfather got drunk, she tried to divert his anger onto herself so he wouldn't hurt me. When she went away to college, on the days I ran away from home, she would let me sleep in her bed while she lay on the floor of her dorm room. When I turned 16, she allowed me to move in with her permanently. We never saw my parents again. My husband is a lot like my sister. They are both very calm and kind. Both are very smart. They have the same sense of humor. They like the same music, books, movies, and games. It's like some weird and twisted coincidence. I fell in love with the male version of my sister. They got along great, which was very important to me because they are my only family. We got married a year ago after 6 years together. And I am now 27 weeks pregnant with our first child. My sister met her boyfriend, who was 30, a year ago. He also got along well with me and my husband, although I always felt like my husband didn't like him very much. When I once asked him why he was embarrassed, he said he didn't think it was noticeable, and apologized. He said he just didn't think he was good enough for her. My sister's boyfriend proposed to her today. We were eating pizza and drinking beer on my sister's balcony when he suddenly got down on one knee and pulled out a ring. She was very surprised but happy and said yes. When we got home, my husband was a little tipsy. He said he wasn't tired and would have another beer and watch TV, but I'd better go to bed. When I got back to the living room, I saw him sitting on the couch and crying. I asked him what was going on and he said he was in love with my sister, but he knew it was wrong. He said he loved me very much and promised to be a good husband and father to our daughter. He went to sleep on the couch. I'm in shock and I'm torn apart by anxiety. I don't know what to do or how to feel about all this. Sister, should I tell her? Nothing will ever be the same again, but she is my only family and my best friend, and my husband. Is this the end? I was so blind, but now everything is back to normal. Of course he loves her. How could I not see? Can this marriage be saved? And our family? I promised my daughter a better life than I had. I promised her kind and loving parents. I cannot allow her to be born into a world where her parents are strangers to each other. What should I do? And the fact that the heroine cannot allow her daughter to be born in a world where her parents are strangers to each other is very sad. Because, alas, she has already made the wrong choice from the very beginning. Who has such a relationship in the family? True, often, as far as I know. Usually they choose a copy of their parent as a partner, and not a copy of their sister. But here it is. Apparently, the sister really meant a lot to the heroine of this story. Let's find out what happened next. Update 1. My husband is already awake, and I talked to him. He apologized for hurting me last night. He said he just felt despair, like he had lost something very dear and important in his life and was grieving about it. He said he loved me very much and wanted everything to work out for us and the baby. I asked him if he loved her more than me and he said it was just a different kind of love. I asked him if he had to choose between me and her, who would he choose? He said me. I asked him if he thought she was prettier. He said I was objectively more attractive. I asked if he had been with me all these years just to be closer to her. He said it was unfair to him because he truly loved me. I asked him if he could live a normal life if he never saw her again. He started to cry. But he said he would do everything to save our marriage. Then he added that he never had a mother or a female figure in his life, which is probably why he is so attached to her, because she is very warm and caring. I asked, so do you love her like a mother, or do you want to sleep with her? He didn't want to answer. I asked if he fantasized about her when he was with me. At first he refused to answer, and then he said, why are you torturing yourself? I asked. Will you lose interest in me if she is no longer in our lives and it is just us? He looked like he was thinking about it for the first time, and then he said that he chooses me and our child. He wants to start therapy and couples counseling because he thinks our marriage can still be saved. We had dinner with my sister and her fiancé. My husband was unusually silent and did not initiate a conversation with my sister. He hardly looked at her. On the whole, the dinner had gone well. His sister was too happy about the engagement and the trip tomorrow not to notice anything, but before leaving, her husband hugged her longer than usual. Said he was happy for her and wished her a good trip. Still hugging her, he took her hand and said, "I didn't congratulate you properly yesterday because I was drunk," and congratulated her again. Tears came to his eyes again. Then he hugged my sister's fiancé and congratulated him too. On the way home he was silent. When we got back, he said he loved me and would do everything to make it work, but asked me not to make any rash decisions while I was hurt. We are starting couples therapy. I want him to be 100% honest with me. He asked me not to tell anyone about his confession because it meant nothing. I said I didn't want him near my sister if I gave him a chance. He asked how that was possible. If we were together all the time, my sister will suspect something, and he doesn't want me to tell her because he's ashamed. I told him he could just minimize his contact with her. I told him to sleep on the couch again because I haven't decided what I'm going to do next, and for now the couch is his place. What an exhausting day. Update 3. I am grateful to everyone who writes and asks about new updates, but honestly, I don't have enough information yet to make a separate post. I read all the comments, thank you. I asked my husband for a separation because I need to be alone to make a decision. We are also starting family therapy, whether we stay together or not. I want to know everything he has kept from me. He thinks I am torturing myself, but I am not. I am tormented by half-truths. I hope that through therapy I can get to the bottom of his feelings in a safe environment. He cried when I told him I wanted to separate. He said he lost everything in one day because of a drunken confession that meant nothing. He loves me and wants to be with me. He suggested moving. He had already had several job offers in other cities. He said that this could be our new beginning. This summer we renovated the basement to make a guest room because the current guest room is turning into a nursery. Now he will live in the basement. There is a separate entrance and the mini kitchen is almost ready. I decided not to tell my sister about it. This is my battle and my marriage. I love my sister very much, but I will be honest, I am angry at her now. I also envy her and I think I always have been. She is a much better person than I am. I hate that I never had a chance to give back to her because she was always perfect and never needed help. I hate that she is not as angry as I am about the injustices we have suffered. I hate that she is so kind to me and my husband. I hate that he sees how much better she is than me. And I hate that I can't blame him for loving her and not me. Update. For Hi, a month ago I wrote here about how my husband confessed that he has been in love with my sister for many years. We are getting a divorce, and he wants nothing to do with our daughter. After my sister's engagement and his confession, he promised me that he will love me and do everything possible to be a good and loving husband and father. He didn't want me to talk about my sister because he was ashamed, and we slowly started planning a future in another city. He already had the opportunity to get a better paying job there and decided it was time to move on. I agreed. We started seeing a family psychologist. I told my sister that we were moving and she was upset. But, as always, she didn't object. She supported me. I don't know if she thought it was strange that my husband didn't spend time with us anymore, but she never asked about it. She was probably busy with her happiness and the changes in her life. After her vacation, she came back and told me she was pregnant. She was just beaming with happiness. That's why everything happened so quickly with the engagement. Her fiancé wanted to get married before the baby was born. She asked me to keep it a secret. Probably not even my husband meant it, but I didn't tell him anyway. She wanted to wait until the second trimester to make it official. She ended up crying about me leaving when she needed me most, but then apologized For being selfish. She realized that we had to provide our daughter with a better life. I cried for a week. A week ago, my husband went to an interview in another city and was going to stay there for a week to sign a lease on a new apartment. We were thinking of checking out a new city before selling our house and buying a new one. On Tuesday, my sister and her boyfriend announced that they were expecting a baby. It was the day after my husband's interview. And not even half an hour had passed before my husband called me. He was drunk and crying, asking if it was true and if I knew. He called me a cruel liar for hiding my sister's pregnancy from him. Said it was so unfair that my sister's fiancé was a loser and unworthy of her, the carpenter fiancé, and my sister the pediatrician, and he said he needed some time alone, and then he turned off the phone. On Friday he sent a message saying he didn't want to be with me anymore and didn't want to be a part of our daughter's life. He apologized but said he couldn't do it anymore. If I agreed to release him from parental duties, he would leave the house to me. I tried to call him, but he turned off his phone again. I cried all night. Yesterday morning my sister called and asked what was going on. My husband asked to meet her because he wanted to tell me something in person. He said he would come on Monday. She asked what it meant, but I didn't have the strength to explain anything. Today she will come to me with her fiancé and, apparently, I will have to tell her everything. Final update. Hi. I knew that I could count on your support. My sister came, and I told her everything. It was easier for me to show my posts here because I just didn't have the energy to explain in detail everything I went through these weeks. I said that my husband asked her to meet, most likely to confess his love to her, or maybe with some other nasty proposal, so she needs to stay away from him. Her fiancé was literally seething with anger. My sister only cried, apologized, and tried to hug me and stroke my hair. I found her touch unpleasant, and I don't know why. I know it's not her fault. I told my sister that now that I've warned her, I want to be alone and I don't want any contact with her or any of them. I'm thinking about moving to another city. There's a small town in the north where one of my best friends from school moved. After getting married, everything is better and cheaper there. I can easily find a small place to rent there until the divorce is finalized, and I can easily get a job. If I manage to get a foothold there, I can give birth there calmly without unnecessary stress. I wrote to my husband that I told my sister everything and that neither she nor her fiancé were happy with the confession. An hour later he called, apologized, and said he didn't want to scare her. He just wanted to see her and say goodbye. But if she was scared, he wouldn't bother her. He said he was still the same person and wouldn't let anything happen to her. But he didn't ask anything about me and the child. He is staying in the new city and is starting a new job in September. He said that he might come to say goodbye before finally moving to the new city. My sister later wrote that she loved me and would step aside if I wanted, but begged me not to move because she needed me and would do anything to make up for the wine. I didn't answer. I hate that she's so perfect and kind. She can go to hell. Well, that's all.